Hello, and welcome to episode 28 of the SomerKnits podcast. My name is Summer, and I am a knitter based in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I live here with my two kids, my husband, our dogs, and chickens. If you are new here, welcome. I'm going to try and keep this to a shorter than usual episode. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. I really want to focus today on just a couple of things rather than every single work in progress I have going, because they're numerous and I have not necessarily put time in on all of them since I last recorded. I really want to focus the first part of this episode on the Saglan pre-knit. Now, a pre-knit, unlike a test knit, doesn't have to be finished by a deadline. A pre-knit is where you are able to access the pattern early and start the project so that there are multiple projects in progress in various stages when the pattern is published, so that there are examples available to people who are looking at the pattern or considering purchasing it. Hopefully across a variety of yarn choices and body types. So the Saglan pre-knit for AilbÍona McLochlainn is a pattern that is written in two weights. You can do a sport weight or an Aran weight, and I've chosen to do the Aran weight pattern. The pattern is written so that you can use Nutiden, but also you could use a regular yarn as long as you get gauge. It is a very unisex, I don't want to say basic, but kind of a nice basic. If you're thinking in terms of wardrobe staples, it would be a nice basic pullover. Let me show the picture on the pattern really quick. In case you didn't see the last episode or I'm not sure what I'm talking about. The Saglan is called that because it is a combination of a saddle shoulder and a raglan construction. So the construction is very unique and very interesting. But you can see how it just would make a really nice wardrobe staple. So I've chosen to do a strand of Nutiden and a strand of suri alpaca in order to get the Aran weight gauge. I wanted it to be not too heavy. Oklahoma doesn't get super cold for super long. So I felt like a 2 strands of Nutiden sweater at this particular gauge might be too warm for me to get a lot of use out of. So I want to show you where I've gotten to because I just divided for sleeves last night while I was knitting after my kids went to bed. So now you can see, it took me a while to be able to see the construction taking shape because it was a unique construction to me. So at first it felt very awkward and I couldn't visualize it. And maybe that's just me because I have a hard time visualizing things. I need to really see them at a certain point. But this is having just divided for sleeves. So you can see I don't want to lose any of my stitches. I've not gone very far past the divide. It was getting late. This is obviously the front. The neckline is picked up and knit later. I did do a try on, and so I will insert pictures, but I love the fabric that it's making because it is lightweight. It weighs almost nothing, but I feel like it's still going to be very warm because it's going to trap a lot of air. And it's soft, but I haven't decided if I'm a Nutiden next to skin person, and I probably won't be able to truly determine that until after I have washed and blocked it. The swatch is so soft that I think that it's going to soften up quite a lot. It's not that it's not soft. There's just that woolly wool prickle to it. And I love suri alpaca, so I know that that's not a problem. But this is my first knit with Nutiden. And I do love how it feels knitting up. I love how light and fluffy it is. It has not been as difficult to work with as I was worried about. Anytime it does come apart, I can just like felt it back together really quick. If you are not familiar with Nutiden, it is an unspun yarn. And this one, you can see, I was hoping you could see kind of the individual strand colors a little bit. So it's a light gray. There are areas where there's more cream in there, and there's areas where there's more of the dark flecks, the darker strands in there mixed together to make this nice light gray. And then the suri alpaca is just a undyed cream. So when I put the two together, I get this nice light gray, which I felt like for such a basic wardrobe staple that a light gray was super neutral, go with absolutely everything in the winter. I feel like the design of this sweater, I'm going to be able to wear it with like slacks to work or pull on ponte pants or even a pencil skirt or jeans. I think it's going to be universally wearable once I figure out how hot the Nutiden really is in the winter here. And we'll see. They're predicting a very cold winter here, but at least for us. But those predictions, it's a little too early for them to really know for sure how cold it's going to get here. I always take the weather predictions with a grain of salt. But I just wanted to really share the pre-knit since I know I showed it last week, but it wasn't at a point where you could really see what was happening. And this week with the sleeve separation, you can really see how the shaping is coming along. So it's kind of hard in this light color for you to see it, but the increases run here and then they turn and run along here so that you get this combination of the saddle shoulder and the raglan. And when I put it on, like I said, I'm going to insert photos. Maybe I already have, but when I put it on, I could finally see the comfort of that fit and the purpose behind it and how it sat on my body. And I think that's made me a little more excited to finish it because I was really starting to lack some motivation just because it's still hot here. It has been over 90 degrees Fahrenheit every day this week except today. It's humid, it's muggy, and this is like woolly wool, and it's warm. And I had just finished the Chantilly cardigan, which is also big and fluffy and warm, and it's just so hot. So I'm really more motivated to work on short sleeve things, summer things, and I have been, but I wanted to get this to a point where I could really see what was happening with the shape and put it on my body and see how I felt about the fit. My next work in progress I've shown a few times, and it's to the point where I'm very excited about the finished product, but there's lots and lots of stockinette in the round now, which in certain circumstances I love because I find it very soothing and very easy to take along with me. So this is just a quick update on my Anker summer shirt. You can see that I have both sleeves done now, and I'm cranking away on the body. So we're definitely into probably the deepest part of the purple now. I did have to rewind the entire thing of yarn because when I did the sleeves and I was pulling from the inside for the purple and then the outside for the ribbing, the whole thing just lost its integrity, and I had to rewind it in order for it not to become the most tangled monster mess in the world. But this has been my carline knitting, my backpack knitting, just taking it with me everywhere. I've done some work on it during the kids' activities. And I know it doesn't look like a ton yet, but I feel like we are really, it's still a reverse for me. I have to move backwards from what I'm seeing. I'm really getting excited about the progress on this shirt. And given the temperature variations here and the fact that it can be really hot all the way through September and very moderate through October and part of November even usually, I think that I can get a lot of wear out of this, even though it is considered cotton. Well, it is cotton. It's considered a summer shirt. But for here, I think it's a great midweight, and I'm very excited for that. So those are the two projects that I just wanted to give a quick little update on. I have done more on my petal party crop, but I was talking during the last round and I've messed up the lace somewhere. So I have to sit down and look at the lace really quickly. At most, it's back like 2 rows, but I still need to take the time to sit down and figure that out before I keep moving forward, because the lace panels on the petal party crop are, it's super obvious if there's something wrong with one. And while a lot of times I'm a fix the mistakes on the go person, this one is not going to be hidable. So I'm going to have to either go back the 2 rows or drop down a few stitches and repick them up, which sounds harder than it is. I've done that in lace before and been able to work it out just fine. So probably I will try that before I try tinking back a couple of rows. But I'm very excited for that one also. It's probably going to be like less of an everyday throw on than the Anker summer shirt, but I do think it'll be really nice office wear, night out wear. It's just such a pretty top. And if you're not familiar with that one, you should definitely check it out. It's by Samantha Guerin, and it is a beautiful design. Kelly of AilbÍona did one earlier this summer that is just gorgeous, and she has a podcast. And if you're wanting to learn any more about that top or see hers, go check out her podcast. It's relatively new. I think she started in the spring or early summer, but her episodes are nice little bite-sized chunks, and they flow really well, and I think that it's a great podcast. So that's my recommendation for today. I want to hit on one acquisition that I didn't manage to get in last time due to time constraints, but it's super fun and I want to share it. I'm going to apologize ahead of time for a little bit of crinkling, but I completely failed to share my Southern Skeins shipment from last month in my last episode because there was so much I was trying to get in and I had so little time. But I was really excited about this one. This was the Knot Sock box, and it is a DK weight, and it is a bright green tweed. So she calls it seagrass, and it's really bright speckles in there, the tweedy bits. And I have 2 skeins, and they are DK weight, so 245 yards each. And I thought I might try to do something super fun for the kids with these because they're so bright. Especially my youngest. I think that he would really appreciate the color. And even the bright specks, like he won't care that there's pink specks in there. I think that he would just really appreciate this bright green color. So I haven't decided if I will do accessories or try and work it into a sweater with some complementary colors. But anyway, that is the beautiful yarn that came in that package. One of the extras was a set of reusable stainless steel straws that have caps. Now, I've gotten stainless steel straws before, but I've never had caps or even the bite tips on them before. And my son bites the ends of straws like all the time. When I was little, he ruined more than one like nice Go Cup straw by chewing on it. So it'll be nice to have those silicone ends. I think I'm going to take some of these to my office and leave them there so that I have them to use there and then leave a few here in the drawer at home. The bag this time was so pretty. Starfish, and in some of my favorite colors. I love bright colors, but blues and aquas definitely fall into my absolute favorite colors. Then there was a gorgeous pin, and it has all this, it's a woman wearing like knitting accessories as a fancy hat, and I think it's super cute. And then, as usual, there were some little sample bits. Oh, I forgot, the stitch marker is a really cute starfish, if I can get it out of the bag. And it is a stitch marker / progress keeper. I have one of these from last year on one of my Yeti mugs, these Starry Skies and Firefly stickers, but I love it so much that I do not mind having a second one. And then a chamomile tea, a eucalyptus eucalyptus, and an Aloha Happy Hands hand cream, and then a candy. There's almost always a little candy in there. And this was the deluxe box for July, I think. Yeah, the July Not Sock box. And there is a free pattern that comes with each box. And this time it was a sampler pattern. But you don't have to use their pattern. And I do have an affiliate link for Southern Skeins. If you would like to use it, you are welcome to. You can get a percentage off. There's also a discount code that is below. But I pay for my own boxes. These are not gifted or even really sponsored. I just have an affiliate link, and if you would like to use it, feel free, but there is absolutely no obligation. I do think her yarn is a lot of fun and absolutely worth trying if you like surprise boxes in the mail or subscription boxes. You do not have to sign up for a set amount of time. You can do 1 month, you can do multiple months. It is completely up to you, totally customizable. My August box is on its way. I chose the sock box for August. So that ships at the end of the month, and the not sock box usually ships in the middle of the month. So sometimes I get them earlier than others, but she was announcing the themes, and I think the sock box for August was turtles, and I was just like, yes, please, because I love turtles and they're super cute. So I'm excited to receive that. And that's really it for today. Thank you for joining me for just this short update. I had really wanted to talk about the Saglan now that I had reached a certain point in the pattern, and it's actually beginning to excite me. I'm also trying to talk myself out of casting on with that pink silk, merino silk that I showed last time. I really, really want to cast on a short sleeve love note, so that's like brewing in my mind, and I'm trying desperately to talk myself into waiting until I finish something else, which I think the Anker summer shirt has the best hope of getting finished quickly. The other thing I am like desperate to cast on is a Radvent cardigan. And it's like the more I see them, the more I want to do one. Just like, but deciding which mini skein set or advent that I want to do, I don't think I'm going to do the bright rainbow that I got from the Creative Knitter last year. I may end up doing the mermaid mini skein set that my husband gave me last year because it has a full skein that goes with it, but I need to sit down and see if I have any other minis in my stash that would go with it, because it was only a 12 mini skein set as opposed to a 25. So I need to do some calculations, figure that out, but I'm in a very cardigan mood right now. But also, if you follow Laura of Penrose Knits, you may have noticed that the Chantilly vest, or slipover, whatever she's calling it, is going to go into testing soon. And of course, I was like, please, please. So we'll see if I get chosen for that. I already have the yarn picked out. I believe I'm going to use a bright blue woolly knit cone and a knitting for Olive. You know what I'm talking? Kid silk mohair. Yes, the knitting for Olive kid silk mohair along with the British wool cone. So fingers crossed that I get into that one because I enjoyed doing the Chantilly cardigan so much, and I think that I would get a lot of use out of the vest. But anyway, thank you for joining me. Maybe I'll record again next week. Maybe it'll be a couple of weeks. We'll just have to see. Getting into the swing of back to school still. See you later.